Hello! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely bed, and I've broken the tutorial down into 3 parts, and in the first part I'll show you how to make the bed frame, in the second part the mattress and the bedding, and then in part 3 I'll show you how to make this lovely crocheted bed runner and matching cushion. So for the first part, to make the bed frame, I've used a beche wood, and that's spelt O-B-E-C-H-E. It's a lovely fine-grained softwood. If you can't get hold of a beche, I've done a video called Working with Wood, which will give you some ideas of other types of wood that would be suitable for this project. You'll need a craft knife, and I use this Swan Morton knife which takes a size 10A blade. Always put a new blade in at the start of a project. And then for cutting the strip wood I've used a mitre block and saw, and these are available from most sort of miniature craft suppliers, but just search for mitre block and saw on Google and you should be able to find one. They're really handy. A steel rule, obviously for measuring and for using with your craft knife to cut the wood. A nice sharp pencil for accurate marking. Some clamps to hold the frame together whilst the glue is drying. The glue I've used is Gorilla Wood glue. Really nice strong glue that bonds really quickly. For my bed frame I've used a dark oak household interior varnish, and this gives it a more traditional look, but you could also paint the bed frame to give it a more contemporary look. Cocktail sticks I use to apply glue, which I dispense onto a piece of card, and that just makes it easier to apply. And I also use them for removing glue from along the joins. And then a couple of grades of sandpaper, and I like a 500 for finishing and 120 for sanding the cut pieces and for shaping the top of the bedposts here. Now I think that's everything you're going to need. The cutting list is coming next, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're going to begin by attaching the mattress top and bottom support between the mattress side pieces. So I've dispensed some glue here onto a piece of card, and I'm going to apply it with a cocktail stick. So begin by applying glue to the ends of the top and bottom supports. Just done that in there. And then we're just enclosing them between the 2 side supports so that this top edge is flush, and the same with the bottom edge, and this one will go towards the bottom of that side support. And attach the remaining side so that these top and bottom ends are flush. And then just very carefully press it together. And that piece can then be left until the glue has dried. Okay, so while that mattress surround is drying, we're going to construct the headboard. So begin with the 2 legs. I'm going to make pencil marks along each of them, and starting from this top end, the pencil marks need to be 3mm, 40mm, 51mm and 67mm. And I'll just give you those measurements in inches. Oops. So that's 1/8 of an inch, 1 9/16, 2 inches and 2 5/8. So make those measurements on both legs, and then you can put those back up there, and then take the top horizontal support and make a pencil line in the centre. Just put that back there, and then take the central panel and make a pencil mark in the centre at the top and bottom. And then again on this sort of bottom support here, and again in the centre. Okay, so we're going to begin by attaching that central panel to the top piece so that those two pencil lines are lined up. So apply glue along the top of the panel. Glue that into place. And press them together. And then to space these vertical rods, I've just cut a couple of pieces from some spare 1.5mm thick wood, and I've made them 4mm thick, so that we've got 4mm between each one. I'm just trying to find the inch measurement of that. Is 5/32 of an inch. Doesn't matter how long they are. And then place one either side of the central panel, like that, and then apply glue to the top of one of the rods and glue that to the top support just alongside that spacer. Hold everything together as you press it into place. And then you can leave the spacer there for now and move to the other side. And put the next rod into position, and again hold on to everything as you push it upwards. And I'm just going to let that glue dry just for half a minute or so before I remove those spacers. And then you can just very, very carefully slide the spacers out and move them along one. And then attach the next two rods. The same thing again. And attach the remaining rods. And then finally slide out those spacers and keep those to one side for when we do the footboard. And then don't pick this up, but just very carefully just slide it along your work surface, just in case any of the glue has stuck it to the surface. And then we want to apply glue to the bottom edges of the rods and the central panel. Just going to very carefully lift that up. Central bit as well. And then bring in this bottom horizontal support here and line up the pencil lines again with the one on the central panel and just push that into place. And then just very carefully press it all together. Like that, just making sure that all of your rods are staying in alignment. And then again, just carefully push it along. Now I want to apply glue to each end. Like that. There as well. And then, so that the pencil marks on the legs are facing upwards, attach the constructed piece so that this top bar sits just below that top pencil mark, and the bottom bar should then sit just above that second pencil mark. And again, press those together, and then just apply a blob of glue to this final support to the end there, and that one should sit then above the next pencil mark. Should have put a blob of glue on that other end as well. And then bring in this remaining leg, and again make sure that the top support is just below that one, and that this one down here sits above that third pencil mark down. Just keep everything straight. Oops. Again, just carefully press all of that together. And pressing everything down as well at the same time. And there's the constructed headboard. Now we'll leave that piece to dry, and then we'll come back and construct the footboard. Okay, so we're going to construct the footboard in exactly the same way. So I've made pencil marks in the centre of the horizontal supports and in the centre of the central panel at the top and bottom. And then on the legs we want to make pencil marks 3mm and 40mm from this top edge. So 3 and 40, and again in inches that's 1/8 of an inch and 1 9/16, like that. And then I'm using these spacers again, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Starting there with the central panel. Okay, so once that piece is constructed, again just apply glue to each end of the horizontal supports. and then glue that to the leg so that it sits just below that 3mm 1/8 of an inch pencil mark at the top there, and the bottom rung should sit just above it. And the same on there. And press all that together. I'm just going to slide that across the worktop and leave that there to dry. And then take the mattress piece that we constructed earlier and apply glue along this thicker end. Just on the insides of the side supports or the long supports there. And then attach this headboard mattress support so that it's sitting on the inside again of the side supports. And then I'm just going to take a few clamps and clamp that together. Just put one more on there. And again, that can be left to dry, and then we can come back and start putting the whole thing together. Okay, so starting with the headboard, we just want to erase all of these pencil marks, apart from the ones here at the bottom of the legs. So just carefully remove all those marks. And that's just because even if you're using a dark varnish, those marks can still show through. And if any of them aren't removing, it's probably because there's just a little bit of glue over them. So you can just use a sort of fine grade sandpaper just to sand those off. They've all come off of there. And then take the supported mattress piece, and we want to apply glue in each of these corner sections. That. And then this piece, so that the thinner support is at the bottom, attaches between the headboard legs so that it sits just above that pencil mark. So these side pieces are just above the pencil marks. And then press that down. And you can push those legs in together as well. Like that, and then I'm just going to remove the excess glue again. From around the edges as well. And then just leave that piece to dry, and then we can attach the footboard. Okay, so I've just moved the camera slightly higher up so I can get the whole of the bed in. We're just going to begin again by removing those pencil marks on the footboard and on the legs as well. Okay, and then apply glue to the end of the bed here, so to the ends of the side pieces and all the way along that horizontal support there. Like that. And then we're going to attach the footboard. Make sure you can still see me there, so that the bottom of this support is flush with the bottom of the support at the end of the mattress, and so that the mattress sides are level with the legs. So let me show you close up there. So it's sitting centrally, and the sides are just at the edges of the legs there. And then I just want to put some clamps on there. one in the middle. And then one at each end, and keep the clamp sort of lower down on the support, which will keep it in the right place. One there as well, and then I'm just going to lay that down. And again, that can then be left to dry, and then we can attach the slats. Okay, so once the glue is dried, we can attach the slats. So begin by applying glue along that top support there, and then just a little way down each mattress side support. And you can place the first one across there, and there'll just be a slight overhang at either end of this mattress side. So just sort of place it centrally, press it into place, and then turn the bed around and do the same at the end, but you just need to apply glue to each of these sides. Those down, and then for the remaining slats we can just place them by eye, but if you'd rather measure you can. So just first of all find sort of your centre across here, and then just apply a little bit of glue at either side. I think that's about level, and place one, oops, just place one across the middle there. I think I'm slightly higher at this end, but it doesn't really matter because these are going to be hidden by the mattress, so it's just a sort of form of supporting the whole structure really. And then apply glue to each end of the remaining slats. And just fill in these two sections. And the final one across there. So just give those a final little press into place. And then you can remove any excess glue from between them. Like that, and then that piece can be left to dry. And then take the little leg tops, and we're just going to bevel off each edge on one side of the piece. So I'm actually using the heavier grade sandpaper for this, so my 120, and just hold it between your thumb and forefinger and just hold the sandpaper at an angle and just go across like that, and then sweep it sort of from front to back as well, just to create a bevel, and it just looks nicer than just having a square piece on there. And with this stronger grade sandpaper you don't need to do this many times. So we're just taking off those edges, those straight edges, and then apply a little dot of glue to the top of each leg, and then you can attach them so that the side that you've beveled is face down. And again, just by eye, just try to get that central on the top there. And then press down. Make sure it's straight as well with the line of the bed. That one as well. I'm going to remove the excess glue from under there as well. A little bit at the back there. And then do the footboard ones as well. Like so. Okay, so the construction of the bed is now complete. So leave all of those pieces to dry and then just go over the whole thing very carefully with a finer grade sandpaper just to prepare it for varnish. And again, concentrate along the joins and where there might be any sort of glue residue because your varnish won't take over glue. Okay, so the bed frame has been varnished and that's had 2 coats of the dark oak varnish.